welcome to the August mystery box. So I had so much fun doing iron-on last month that we are going to do some more this month. So for this workshop, you need an iron. So you want to get that out, you want to get it plugged in, you want to turn that on high, and then you also want to grab something to put over it when you're doing your ironing. A pillowcase works really well. So grab that. Maybe don't grab like your satin pillowcase. Like if you've got just like a cotton run-of-the-mill pillowcase, that would be what I would grab for this. So a couple things, you can do this in whatever order you want. You're gonna have a frame that you're gonna get to paint. So if you want to do your ironing first, you can do that, or you can paint first. Mine's already painted, so obviously today I'm just gonna show you guys how to iron. I think you guys know how to paint. So you'll go ahead and you'll paint your frame, and then we're gonna actually do the iron-on process here. But one thing I just kind of want to show you guys is how did this all come into being. So these are canvases you can buy at the store. The cool thing you can do is if you cut off the canvas, you end up with this little snazzy frame, and then you end up with a canvas you can work off of, and then I'm going to show you guys how we're going to frame that. So just if you're curious, why are there staples on the back of this? Like, what is going on here? It's because it started off looking like a wrapped canvas. That's why, guys. So the first thing you guys can do is your edges might be a little like up and being a pain. You can put your pillowcase down and just iron your edges. The second thing with this canvas is you just want to make sure that your hands are really clean. You're putting it in a clean space because it does pick up dirt pretty easily. So you just want to make sure you don't got like fingerprints and whatever on there from your paint, because it's very hard to get off. So once you kind of have it ready to go, like I said, if you have your edges are sticking up, you might just want to iron that first and get those flattened down. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to kind of get an idea. What we're going to do after we put our iron on is we're going to actually secure this to that. We'll trim the edges off, but this just kind of gives you an idea of the space that you're going to need for your words. So I'm actually going to do this black words first. So I kind of got it where I want it. So we're going to do this in layers. So you've got 3 different colors. We do 3 different colors and 3 different layers. So I'm going to start with my words just because it's going to be easiest. You're going to go ahead, grab your pillowcase. You always want to make sure there's something between your transfer and your iron, because you don't want it too hot. Then you're going to grab your iron once it's warmed up, and you're just going to put it over that, and you're going to hold it. Probably a good 30 seconds will be fine. Everyone's iron is different. And then you want to make sure that you're putting good pressure on there too, because that's where the magic happens. I hope I'm over it. I should be. All right, let's see if I even was over it. Oh, I was over part of it, guys. It's half the fun, right? Is making sure we're actually pressing the words and not just the table. Just making sure. Do all the areas here, all the spots. All right. I think I've got this folded one too many times. I don't think I'm getting enough direct heat on my canvas here. There we go. Let's try again. I think I'm on it. Let's check her out. All right. So one of the big things you just want to look for, and if you look really closely at your letters, you will see the canvas pattern is actually like in the letters. I know that sounds super crazy right now, but that means that like the vinyl is like super pressed as hard as you can down into the canvas, so it's actually like going into all the little like crevices and stuff like that. All right, so next up, you can choose whatever one you want to do next. I'm gonna put my little hearts down. Not do the too thick of a, whoop. And then I always put, like when I'm doing layers, I always put the plastic over what I've already done, just to make sure that everything that I've pressed so far is still being covered. So even if you've already done that layer, just put the plastic back over it. Just keeps it from burning, which shouldn't be too big of an issue with the iron, but it's just good practice. This one shouldn't take too long. Shouldn't even hit in a little bit. See if that's ready. There we go. And then lastly, whoop. There we go. Perfect. So once you get done with your ironing, you're ready to put your frame on. Obviously, make sure that your frame is dry before you do this step. So what you're gonna do now is, if you have a staple gun, that's gonna work the best. If you don't, that's okay. You can do this with glue too. You're just gonna wanna attach your canvas to your frame. So what I do is I line it up. Just remember, this is exactly where it's gonna go. So, you know, you can kind of do whatever you want. If you wanna, so it's more down like that, the bottom, you can do that. If you want to do it like that, if you want to center it, I mean, this is totally up to you. Now, I kind of like this more to the bottom. All you want to just make sure is that when you do it, that you have enough canvas back here to attach to your frame, because you're going to need to either staple it or glue it. Like I said, staple gun is going to be the easiest, which my staple gun has been heisted, guys. It is not in here, so I'm not going to be able to show you this part, but super basic. Once you get it like this, and so if you're using the staple gun, I always just start on one side. I staple it, then I'll turn it, staple it, and then just keep turning it. When I get to the last two sides, I always just give it a good little tug so that it's, you know, pulled tight and looking super awesome. And I just go around. If you're using glue, I would just do the same thing. I would probably just get some glue, go around the edges, and then just lay this on there. Don't do too much, otherwise you're gonna have it come through onto your canvas. And then I would also probably try to get as close to the outer edge I can, so just in case that was to happen, there's more likely of it to go off this side than it is inward. And then these in here, if this is super bothering you, you can take these staples out. Otherwise, you're covering it, you're not gonna even see it, guys. So then once you are done securing it, if you've done this with Staples, you can go ahead and do it right now. If you're waiting for it to glue or dry with glue, I would just wait a bit. So when you turn it around, you're gonna have your edges hanging off. All you need to do is just grab some scissors, go around the edge, and then just trim off that excess canvas. And then once that's done, your project will be completed, and you can go ahead and hang it up. You might have to get a hanger for the back. Those are pretty easy to find at Lowe's. Otherwise, if you're putting it on a shelf, you can just lean it up on the shelf. Whatever you want to do. And then just make sure that you take a picture of your completed project and show it off on Facebook so that we can all see your creativity.